Well, I'm joined by Amundsen Toeset of the Netherlands, the biggest win of the competition for this Dutch side in the Women's Open. You've got to be pleased with that.
We're very, very happy. It has been a very difficult competition for us, but this is a really good team that we've sent this year, and we're really proud of how we've played in defense, our attack, and this was a really good game for us. Yeah.
Double figures and a clean sheet. You can't really ask for much more in one game.
I must say we were not expecting this. I think we did better than what we expected. So we're definitely really happy with this win. And I mean, Thailand played amazing. It was a really good game. It was really good.
Well, thank you so much for chatting to us, even briefly, because the countdown is going ahead of our next game. Thank you for joining us and well played. Well, I'll have to hand you right over to Adam Collins here because it's a huge game in the Men's Open between South Africa and New Zealand. South Africa need a win to stay into the competition.
Thanks very much for that, Wilf. Yeah, thanks for that, Wilf. Here we are with this Men's Opens game. It's Adam Collins in commentary, joined by Ben Meeks. Ben, this New Zealand versus South Africa, as we heard from Wilf there, South Africa have to win this one. Crucial match if they want to stay in the competition.
Yeah, tough competition as the Kiwis just get through. The ball goes to ground. Yeah, tough competition so far for the South Africans. But great, really, really good. And I'm going to pick them to they can beat Australia in the final tomorrow.
Yeah, that is the traditional rivalry, but it's all about this match here at the moment as we speak. And it is New Zealand on the attack here. First big opportunity for them.
Come up, 6.
On the 7-metre line. They come back, long ball over the top. Defence is up to the task. Turn the attacking rate back into the midfield now.
Up here, 6, up here.
New Zealand holding into that 7-metre line. Wrap around play, short ball. The ball goes to ground, but touch in flight was the call.
Yeah, so a repeat set here for New Zealand. 23 quickie on the short side. Sets back, dives. Referee says touch there, so fourth touch or third touch. Squeeze. Long ball there to the right. ML plays, no, they give the FML, so it's a fake.
Matt Sinclair there just looking for Aoife Jones, but unfortunately that one goes to the ground. And South Africa stand tall in defence, turning away the attack of New Zealand. Not looking as sharp as I thought they might have here earlier this morning.
Just a bit of a wake-up call. Couple of balls to ground, couple of miscommunications, so turn it on for the game.
South Africa now up over the halfway line. Great attacking opportunity here for Lorado Moepi. Long ball over to the wing, but unfortunately for the South Africans, that one to ground. Referees just call a ball away, and it will be New Zealand to start off their own 7 metres. They'll punch up through the midfield and then look to move the ball for their sub-box. It's exactly what they've done. They're up to the halfway line. 5 metres their own side after 3 touches. So 2 touches remaining in this count. Here they roll on at speed. Half goes, looks to the right. Skip out, but again, the defence up to the task. South Africa back in attack. Working out off their own 7. They'll move it to their sub-box. They want the fresh legs on early here. New Zealand moving up in defence, showing much more aggression. That's the 4th touch on the own side of halfway. Here's the final touch now. South Africa have to penetrate, but they don't. And a handover 10 metres into New Zealand territory.
Yeah, a bit of a midfield battle so far. Kiwis are probably just winning it because they're going further every time, and that obviously told because South Africans on the 10-metre line of New Zealand. Bit of a slow step as they go forward, and it's a forward pass. Yeah. So, saying that, bit of a, back to South Africa now.
Trey Poihipi it was that took that ball and forward pass called by the referee. So South Africa here on the halfway line. They go deep on that first settle, no forward movement. They actually ended up behind where they took the tap. Again, too slow in the midfield. Downtime for the ball South Africa really need to fix this play up. Now they penetrate deeper into the line of New Zealand. And then a fumble at half.
Just two sets of 6 from both teams, both in the 10-metre lines between the halfway, both not really completing or communicating. Seems a little bit better on this set.
They juggle there, but they maintain possession. They roll forward. New Zealand up over the halfway line. Best attacking opportunity for a little while here. Scoop from half. That's Sinclair. Sinclair goes through the line with a diving touch of South Africa.
Yeah, Sinclair really good, picks up short side. South African defender just takes him with him, then Sinclair steps back, goes through the middle channel, but the closing middle just gets him, so good defence by the South Africans, but then they've just given the ball away for a forward pass across the ruck.
Cheap turnover there. You can't afford to give them away. Cannot afford to give those penalties away. And now it is New Zealand. Sinclair working there with Hutchinson. Hutchinson and Sinclair, a little pop-out play. They have an overlap on the right-hand side, and that is Aoife Jones. Outstanding, well-constructed play there. Hutchinson and Sinclair in the middle, then just the hop-out pass to Aoife Jones to open the scoring for New Zealand.
Yeah, the two middles of South Africans when they up. First one on the board for the Kiwis. But South Africans get back, they need to get one pretty quickly.
More direct through the middle from the tap-off, but just delayed roll ball. Again, too much in the middle, slow roll ball. The Kiwi defence is reset now. This time they look long themselves, but look at that push out from the New Zealand defenders.
South Africa just picked up short side, and the Kiwi defence is very strong that side. They all go man on. No holes to exploit there, so get the ball back on the 7-metre line. Good first drive.
It is New Zealand now rolling up the field. This is much better, more crisp from the New Zealanders. Now we see them up over the halfway line. 2 touches remaining in the count. We'll see a set piece on the end of this. Here comes Jones sweeping to the open. They go short again, hole running, but the ball finds the ground, cannot find the hands of a support player. And that's better defence from South Africa, but this set here coming off their line, so crucial. They need to just start making headway up the field. The defence of New Zealand pressing forward. This is better meters now. Here they are on the halfway line. That's a good drive. Now they need to clear it quickly. One more touch, and there's nothing doing. It's all individual, one out play. Another poor end of the set.
South Africa are doing well to halfway. They're getting off, but they can't. Oh, if you watch it, get onto the pitch, they come forward with speed. More of that once they come over there into the half.
And it is New Zealand on the attack. Midfield play. It's Awa Morris. Dives for the line. That's Sinclair diving for the line. Referee says the ball was down. That's Sinclair. He's been tireless so far here for the New Zealanders. And that dive, we'll see it here, off the left foot. Inside defender just slipping over, and that's all it took. Matt Sinclair seizes the opportunity, gets the ball to ground for the second try for New Zealand. Now it is South Africa back on the attack, but again, too many people around the ball. There's just confusion reigning supreme here for South Africa. I think this pressure of playing New Zealand and the importance of this match has just come down to bear on them for a little while. They're certainly capable. There's an intercept taken off the line, but taken the defence comes across in cover.
It was Finn Barrett on there. Yeah.
George McClough it was. It shut it down because that was danger signs. And Barrett may have gone the length of the field. Now they roll up. There's Jones penetrating hard into South African territory. Nathaniel Turner, number 1. Now they move the ball again for Jones. Dives at the line, but a great touch from Caleb Roberts, shutting that one down.
There.
So the defence of New Zealand moving forward here, but one out. This is a good opportunity if they can move the ball Pass should have gone back inside for extra metres. This is a better drive from South Africa now. What can they do off the back of this? Offside calls from the bench. The referees disagree. Referee is anticipating an earlier touch over here and found himself in the attacking line.
Go there.
Now it is New Zealand. They go to their sub-box. Trey Poihipi it was, took that drive down the interchange line. Now they wrap out. Good play.
Flip on there by the Kiwis. Extra yards.
Keep an eye on number 7 here, Tiwi Davies. Here he is in half now. Nice ball out to the wing, but he stepped out.
Yeah, just a nice 32 long. Expected everyone to shot on it.
I think it was a 32 extra long.
Yeah, it was. South Africa was giving the ball away again. I think it was just a ball pass off that ruck. Referees are looking for that all tournament. So.
Just we're tucked away in behind the South African sub-box. There's a lot of frustration. They're not performing to their own strengths, and they're trying to take it out, telling the referee that the Kiwis are offside. The referees aren't making the right calls. They're looking to blame somebody instead of picking it up and going about it themselves.
Definitely looking to blame someone else other than themselves. But now they're trying to rally around. You're on AML there for short side, hole 1.
One thing, having been around the game for so long, you have to control the controllables. There's no good apportioning blame to others. You can't take a victim mentality into this game because it'll eat you up, especially against the likes of New Zealand.
You've got to take things in your everything that you can. Learn over time, right?
It's experience, I guess. Better roll here. Now, the shape here, that's much better. Moving the ball in the midfield. Need to get a half in place. That's excellent from Osman. Beautiful try. Individual work there. Let's see it on replay. It really is just a hot stepper.
Yeah, absolutely. Snap. Great step there. And if you make a Kiwi walk off with their head looking at their toes, you've definitely done something right.
Tiwi Davies it was. He reached in. It was just the movement of South African that, as you said, made him put his head down and walk off.
Clearly they've got some players that can do something. They just need to get there a little bit more. Hopefully if they can defend this set, they'll go back down and do the same again.
Oh, that's a coach killer.
Offside. Ball back a bit too quickly.
Late in the set, 7 metres out from your own line. There was nothing happening and they give away a penalty. That's just begging here. And that low dive that the Kiwis are known for. Lance Davids on that occasion. Let's have a look at that in replay. He gets down. It's almost snake-like.
He goes across 2 players here. So you see he steps right and steps left and kills both middle and link and just gets into the channel.
Dive from about 3 metres out. Just slides the ball along the ground perfectly. And Lance Davids adds to the total here for the New Zealanders. 3-1 the scoreline. South Africa on the attack. Much better again. Numbers and the ball over the top.
That one was caught in the crowd.
But much better from South Africa. They penetrated there. They went more direct and then had players at width on the end of that play.
Yeah, they did. They ran an ML right to left, hit for hole 1. Good defence by the Kiwis. So South Africa went phase. Ball just went into the crowd.
And now it's New Zealand again, looking for this sub-box. Now they roll forward. Kiwis now here, we have them on the line. Switch back into the inside. Look short. Diving defence in time. Great touch there by South Africa. And now they have to bring it out of their own end again. Good momentum on this set. South Africa have picked up here. They've gone away from that mentality of what are the opposition doing, and they're taking it to the Kiwis.
Yeah, they're rolling so much better than they were in the first 10 minutes. They just going down the sideline, getting more yards, and then they shoot one touch here for the South Africans, what they love playing, but they get caught on the just away from.
And then a penalty to New Zealand on the end of that. So those little things, the small things for South Africa, if they fix those, they're well in this game.
It's only 3-1 as well.
Rayhana Finch it is that makes that big break down the right-hand side. Punches deep into South African territory. There's Finch in half. Touch made. That looked like it was danger signs, but a penalty for a forward pass from the ruck to the South Africans. Again, another start to a set deep in their own territory. They have to move this ball forward. Here comes the defence of New Zealand, right up in the face of the South Africans.
Only 2, and they're going to lose the ball there. So good defence there by the Kiwis. I would like South Africans to maybe just do an away set, because the Kiwis are always looking to defend the South African sub-box here. Why don't they just go down the other side of the pitch and try and just, as the Kiwis come here for a sweeper.
Yeah, the
follow
sweeper play.
ball, referee's going to point to the floor for a score.
That was beautifully worked. You saw the big sweeper, then they broke back short, but the sweeper also changed angles and just tucked in on that little hip pocket line. Let's see it. The sweep around will come. We'll stick with the live play here. Tap on the halfway line for the South Africans. Bring you a replay on that one. And it is the South Africans now on the attack. 10 metres out from the New Zealand line. The sweeper play again. New Zealand number up in defence, talking the whole time. You might be able to pick that up in the effects, Mike. There's a big step, but unfortunately for South Africa, Yanni Meiberg loses possession there, and it's a turnover, New Zealand.
Just fumbles as he steps, so New Zealand got the ball on the already past the halfway third coming here. Nice rolling with David Hill, the 4th, 5th coming. Looks like he must have been offside. Play on, referee says. No call, so he's...
The penalty given. New Zealand threw that ball into a South African, hoping for a 6 more, but they get the penalty instead. They came from a long way there. I don't know. Advantage must have been played. Everybody appeared to make it back on side at some stage.
Yeah, I think they looked offside to me, so the referee agreed and gave the penalty.
So now a tap for New Zealand. They just moved the ball across the line. Hoffman. This is Hoffman again. Legion Hoffman gets the ball down. That's a nice delivery. Hands here for New Zealand. Should find the scoreline, and it does. Despite the best efforts of the South African defence, that was just beautiful hands from the Kiwis. Here we see it, Hoffman with it picked up. That's a beautiful ball off the ground. Now it moves out through the hands, and try time for Trey Poihipi here in the corner. And that extends the lead for New Zealand now, 5 tries to 1. Starting to get away from the touch box. They need to regroup here.
Yeah, it definitely is, but that's a way to use the whole width of the pitch from New Zealand. They use every inch of grass there.
Really has been a team performance from the Kiwis, maybe a little bit one out from South Africa. And I think that's the difference. If the South Africans can regroup here and start playing as a team, they certainly have the skill sets out there to compete against these New Zealanders.
Yeah, it's a team game, not an individual game. We'll see individual scores, but that won't give you the win at the end of the day. So I'd like to see some more team play from South Africa. But good hands
Jones,
there.
Yeah, nice little juggle.
He's just picking himself up off the ground gingerly. He's actually, I think he's got tape on his right leg already. So, great part. Referee says touch, penalty actually.
We'll keep an eye on that too. Jones has just struggled away to the sub box and gone straight to ground. Seems to be in a lot of discomfort. The right leg of Aoife Jones, and he's a crucial player for the Touch Blacks.
It's that ankle. It looks like it's that ankle that was taped up. So hopefully he can look after that and probably just stay off the rest of this game.
So New Zealand back on the attack with that 5-1 lead. Nice touch up off the line from Michael Duplessis. And it is Kiwis attacking once again. 7 out. Short ball. Back on the inside. Numbers there. Had to come up out of the line to try to take that one. Shafiq Abrams
Yeah, he just pops up out of the line, he gets a hand on the ball, thinks he can go full field intercept, but the ball just goes to ground. So, interesting to see what the Kiwis run here, going to sweep it the opposite way this time. David steps back, QB, 3 on 2, can the ball get away? No, great defence there by South African's George Makalouf.
Was well held there by Nathaniel Turner too. He could have tried to squeeze that one away,
Yeah,
but it would have been potentially an error. Now as the Kiwis back to the line they go, wrap around play, quick hands there. Penalty right on the half-time break for New Zealand. So do they try and put on a one-touch play here? Do they absorb it and go to the half-time break with this 5-1 lead? Let's see what they do. There is Turner, back on the inside. Wide ball. Cuts back and then just throws it up for a changeover. And that is the end of the first half. Plenty of action here in this game. It is New Zealand leading South Africa 5-1. And we're right here behind the South African sub-box. We're going to have a listen and we'll bring you all of that information and action from the second half here shortly.
Nice boys. Nice boys. Okay, process.
I'm thinking potentially they've go live in 30, guys. Up for this one.
No, they haven't so far. Interesting to see what changes they make coming into the second half as they start off defending, to see what they think they can come back. I know the Kiwis started slow too, so they'll want to have a better start in this half as well.
It is the Kiwis with this first opportunity. They move the ball to the left-hand side of the field, trying to left to right movement, taking the ball right out to the extremities. Now they tuck it back in the middle. It's a quick roll ball there. Sinclair off the left foot, back on the inside. Too good, too quick.
Too good, too quick. That is absolutely correct. It's just here. Is it an open side quickie? Yeah, it is. Sinclair steps back, snap, hole one. And the defending link just couldn't get in there.
Defence come across in cover through Wesley Moberg, but just, as I said, too fast, too quick. And it was beautiful try there. The Lance Davids, the work of Sinclair around that half was exceptional as well. And South Africa with another cheap turnover.
Yeah, incorrect roll ball there. I think the ball just went to ground, so easy defensive set for New Zealand, and they're looking to go over the halfway within the first 3 touches, which they're doing just now.
Now they've called no touch there. They're going to get it. Referee just reacting to the player.
Yeah,
South African player calling no touch.
Kiwis didn't really argue about that one though either, so potentially that was a right call then. So South Africa get their tap off back. Essentially, they're past the 10-metre line of New Zealand.
Now it is South Africa on the attack. Ball in the middle. Keep an eye on Shafiq Abrams, who was tucking himself into position at half there.
Now a penalty for South Africa. It's just a hard touch. Coming in from the side more than anything. Just puts the South Africa player on his back.
This is Abrams with the ball now. Quick roll ball. Off the ground. It was a nice pass and a diving try. Beautiful work there from Mohamed Osman. Osman getting another try. That's his second of the game. So both scores for the South Africans from Osman. And now it is New Zealand with a 6-2 lead. They'll tap off, but see, again, South Africa capable of breaking this New Zealand defence.
Yeah, and it looks like it's a South African 6 who's going to cause some more trouble. I'd be giving him the ball more when he's on the line, so he's causing a lot of trouble.
Just saw a yes-no call there. So the referee said you've called it when you've missed and then recovered to make the touch, but the original call of yes-no is what was penalised there. Now they just move the ball through hands, and beautiful to watch. Awar Morris, the try scorer, but beautiful setup from the inside man of the New Zealanders. Here we see it. Sinclair always involved. Here he is, that nice little loop pass, and this ball is on the money, and that is Tiwi Davies.
And South Africa just dropped the ball as soon as they tap off, so another frustration here from the South Africans. Nice simple play by there from the Kiwis on that early release call. Just simple speed getting on the outside there, so.
But it was all about the setup. They're moving the ball constantly, asking questions of the defence. South Africa, similarly, they're quite slow, static. They're static, and they're just, there's no questions being asked of the defence.
No, the Kiwis will look to try and get 3 or 4 defenders up before they strike. They go for an ML here, step back right to left.
Yeah,
that was thrown into no man's land. And defensive set completed for the South Africans. Now the hard bit of trying to get off.
But error made, nothing said, they just get back on with it. And they're ready to roll here in defence. Up they go, there's Davies. Up into the line of South Africa, slow down time, the roll ball, effective. Confusion again. Better penetration that time from the South African settlers. Now it's about this next phase of play. Sweeper's coming on. And there's a penalty. He's up in the line of the attack.
So South Africa have just changed their subbing pattern there. What they did in that set, instead of going straight to the box off the 2, they took 2 up the middle. That actually caused the Kiwi link and wing on the South African box side to be offside. So good change up from there from the South Africans. It'll be interesting to see if they do it all game and if South Kiwis can hit back.
There's Osman again, close to the line. That's where he's been dangerous, working with Shafiq Abrams in the middle. There's Abrams in half. There's Osman. Oh, there it is, Shafiq.
Wow!
Shafiq Abrams. I told you to keep an eye on him, and the Kiwi defence should have as well. You see it off the ground here, just that left foot ankle breaker. And you saw the hands up from the Kiwi defender. He knew he was beating all ends up and said to his team, sorry boys, that's on me.
You can play as a team, but you can also have individual brilliance. New Zealand look to sweep, give the sweeper to Davids. Steps back, tries to snap some of himself, but he can't this time.
Yeah, the South Africans need to be on their toes here. The referee, could you see the referee talking about an offside player? So they really need to be on their toes. They can't afford to give anything away from Sherman Manuel. Manuel there, up out the line, knocks it down, gives the Kiwi 6 more, but he had to make that. Otherwise it was try time New Zealand. Jones is back on his feet now. That's great to see. That injury that he picked up in the first half, not so detrimental. He's back out there. I
think he's actually got more tape on that right ankle.
Very heavily strapped.
Yeah. Moving well though, look good laying ball. David steps back.
Lance David's just pretty to watch.
So good. Really, really good footy there.
It is, again, you talked about the individual brilliance, but it is team setup here. You see, into position, then just a big left hand dummy. He actually fooled 2 players from South Africa. They both turned their heads and charged out, and then David strolled over the line. Plenty of interested viewers back home in Australia watching the Kiwis here. Fancy to be the opponent of the Australian Men's Opens. And there's another try.
There's his hat-trick.
That is his hat-trick. Working tireless. Aussie as the team call him. Oghamad Osman. Beautiful try, again, individual. Referee just saying that the defender was up off the line. Play through was the call. Try time, South Africa.
That's 8-4 to New Zealand. South Africa have scored some really good scores. There's been a lot of individual brilliance, but they're hitting back a lot more. They're getting up around each other in this box here.
Here's New Zealand on the attack once again. They roll through the middle, players in motion. Defence up to the task this time. Now it comes back to the right. Long ball for the winger. Right on the money. Served on that platter.
Such a good ball. Such a better finish as well.
The finish was on
so
song.
good.
Let's see it here. Here's this pass.
It's so good. How do you defend that?
Rayhana Finch. It was George the Urban Burgess that delivered that perfectly timed pass. And Rayhana showing how to complete the try for the Touch Blacks. South Africa back on the attack. Hop step, get the ball away, but the defence has all the answers. Matthew Hutchinson there with the diving touch. That pass, just lost the handle on that one.
I think the referee's going to call touch pass there because he's made the touch and that's how it's been knocked out. So touch pass or even forward, one of the two. And the Kiwis get the ball on their own 7, touch 1. Good touch 2, good driving here.
Little juggle there, but they regain composure up to the halfway line now. Gets the ball down. They work to the right-hand side, back to the left. Now they sweep. There's Harrison. Matt Sinclair, sorry, was that lost possession there.
Yeah, a bit of a juggling act. Just couldn't keep that one in his hands.
The pace of those drives was very impressive from New Zealand, but a changeover here. The referees found an indiscretion.
Yeah, the New Zealand winger, just Rihanna Finch, just says no touch, no touch. The on-field referee says that's correct, so New Zealand get the ball in the South African half. Let's see if they can actually get the handle on the ball this time and get a strike play.
Sinclair it is. Dishes off at the Urban Burgess. That's Jones. Jones looking to come back inside. Sinclair was in a beautiful pocket with the line wide open. Jones couldn't get the ball away. These two players dangerous together. Jones with the ball. That's Sinclair. Jones drives in Sinclair to the line. Pops it back up. There's the ball over the top from Jones on the inside. And a beautiful team try once again. George to Urban Burgess is the try scorer, but that was a team try if ever I saw one.
Yeah, Rihanna Finch on this near side wing gets the ball, taps it back. So good score, good team score, as you said there.
And beautifully executed. Nobody dies in the play there. They all still maintain their runs. Even though the ball went over the top there for Rihanna Finch. Urban Burgess tucked on that inside hole and was ready. Well, may have been. He gets the points, and that is how you play touch football. South Africa, again another juggle outside, a tap over, straight into the hands of the New Zealand winger, and now they push forward straight away. Plenty of lateral movement there, chancing their hand with the ball. They're at the sub box now. This will be a drive. Up over halfway now. Fresh legs on the field for the Kiwis. Look at the drive there. Sneaks in.
Close, so good. And they've just spread it. They've got so much width. Oh, just can't get the ball away. Good defence in the end, but the flow on from New Zealand, you can't really see it, but I can see it from the New Zealand box. When New Zealand are flowing on, they're moving in the box to be sprinting as soon as they get on the pitch. And you see the difference. South Africa are all static in their box as they're coming on. That's such a big difference that we can see here.
I have to give a shout out to George McClough in the 14 for South Africa. He has been working himself to a standstill in defence. He shut down quite a few of those Kiwi raids.
3 or 4 for definite.
They come back to his wing now. And there's the final roll of the set. And again, we see this movement. They'll punch it up through the middle now, get some foundational momentum. Again through the middle. Now they go to the edges and a penalty through the middle with that drive forward.
Just the way the Kiwis punch through the middle, you're always going to be, that offside line's always going to be punished when New Zealand are running so hard. So they've got essentially a tap off from halfway, and they're just going to practice their tap offs for later in the tournament.
They slip it out there for Matthew Hutchinson. Hutchinson into the line, and it's played through. Try for Matthew Hutchinson for the Kiwis. It's starting to blow out here. Favour of the touch blacks.
No tap-off move needed, just spreading the ball from right to left, and holes were created, and just went through one.
Sherman Manuel it was, that caught him, found in no man's land, and he had a decision to make. I thought he did it well, but just the sheer brilliance of Hutchinson scores another one.
Yep, thanks, E4, yep.
I said there'll be plenty of viewers back home in Australia watching this one, thinking that the Kiwis will be taking on the Aussies in the final. That's how it's panning out, but I know England meets it. They want to put a spanner in the works there.
My family are watching back home, England versus Australia. They live in Australia, and I keep getting through my watch. It's Australia 9, England 3. So I'm keeping ahead of the score as well on that one. Good step again, and he gets another one.
Aussie.
Honestly, the footwork of this guy.
Yeah, he was one to watch as the importance of the individual. Had a good chat with Aussie earlier on. He just said he was disappointed in the way the team's been playing, but he just had to step up and take some control, and he certainly demonstrated
He's definitely done that. He's made a few of these Kiwis look daft at times, and hey, that's the game we play. Touch is about individual brilliance as well as team individuals, as a team performance, sorry. Is New Zealand get on the outside and show what a team can do. Just get caught. But yeah, he's just showing that he's got some individual footwork and has made a few Kiwis slip over.
You have family back home in Australia sending you scores of the touch games. My son Lockie sitting at home sending me scores of the rugby union test being played between the Wallabies and Georgia. So shout out to Lockie.
That must be a similar shootout game to this. Quite a lot to a little bit less.
I believe Georgia were Georgia were right in it there for a while. There was a red card to one of the Wallabies, and nothing else happening. Full time, it was 40 to the Wallabies. Georgia 29. Thanks once again to Lockie. Keep me updated. The other side of the world, as it is South Africa on the attack here. That's Manuel open to the line. It stops dead. This is where the breakdown in speed and communication. There's Yanni Moiberg. Short ball in for Manuel. Olorata Moepi.
Kiwi Davies just stops that one near side, so turnover for the Kiwis now. They're just rolling over just near the halfway line. Over it now. That's fourth, rolling into fifth. They're going to run a cut play. Great footwork.
Ball over the top, the juggle, a bounce, ball down. Couldn't control that one. Finn Barnett it was, just bounced the ball. The referee was right on the spot.
Yeah, defensive pressure there from South African's wing, George McAloof again, so that's why that happened.
And here the South Africans drive as they make their way under the field. They certainly haven't given up here. Taking it to the Kiwis, that's what the touch box are all about. We'll flick past there. For Jones calling for that one.
Oh, some good footwork over there. I think that was Trey Pahipi.
Their man Ushman, they came across in cover, shut that one down. Now they just roll forward here. Plenty of time up their sleeve, Kiwis. Call from the bench, they were trying to number up. Matthew Hutchinson in the 12, that's him with the ball now. He's had the hot hand, scored some individual tries, but beautiful passing as well from Hutchinson. And the touch box knew they had to keep an eye on him. They turn it away and now attack from their own line. There's Osman down with a roll ball. Punches hard forward. Moiberg. It's a nice drive there from Miguel Duplessis.
Great roll on there, and he's getting loads of high fives as he comes into the box. And because of that roll on, the New Zealanders gave a penalty away.
Paddy Faber with the ball now. Back inside to Moepi. This is Moepi with the ball. Taking it into the line. Moepi, the left foot step. Couldn't get through the line, but that was close. Millimeters in that one for Moepi.
Good touch by Turner there.
Sweeper play. Back to the right they go. Long ball over the top. Defense slides across, and that will be the end of the set.
Yeah, loopy pass there from the South Africans, so the Kiwis could just slide over and get that defensive touch. They're over halfway now, rolling into the South African 10.
At the back for Davies. Davies on the inside now for Sean Law. There's a late switch play, and it will be Legion Hotham on the end of that one again. The attack for the Kiwis, left and right, moving the defense of South Africa around.
Although there's a lot of deliberation over there, referees talking to a few different people.
No,
it's definitely a try.
It's definitely a try. After all of that, we're back with the original call of try to Sean Law. So it is Legion Hotham. So it is South Africa on the attack once again. 1.5 minutes remain here. South Africa, they need to get on the board. They have to do it now. The referee's going to have a chat here.
Was he offside?
There could be a try here for South Africa.
No.
Touch call. Fourth touch.
One touch. Not doing there from South Africa.
So through the hands here, the final minute of play in this final pool match, men's opens.
Oh! That
call him
was
out.
South African Sherman Manuel. He just puts in the shoulder. You can see he just puts no hands into this. Referee's going to talk to him, thinking this might be a forced sub yet, so he's going to come to the sub box.
Yeah, the 4 subs, so a number advantage here for New Zealand until the interchange is made. So on he goes. And New Zealand force the ball back inside. And that's a turnover. So this, the end of the set, will be the end of the match here for South Africa. They have to take it all the way down the field if they want to add to their scoreline. 12-5 currently. And it is South Africa on the charge. Shafiq, ball in hand, they go for the scoop, but unfortunately the ball on the ground, and that is the hooter in the background for the final scoreline of 12 points to 5 here. New Zealand defeating South Africa, and Meeksy, it really was a dominant display by the Kiwis, but just showing that holding a little back, I think.
Yeah, they just used the play of the ball, they used the width of the pitch, just moving the ball from left to right, nothing, no specific moves in that game. What I will say, South Africa gave it to the Kiwis in that game. I think they should be proud of what they've just brought out in that game.
Yeah, well, that is the end of the match. We look forward to bringing you plenty more action here from the World Cup 2024 in Nottingham. I think the next game here is Singapore, South Africa in the women's 27s division.
Well, welcome to pitch 2. Our coverage continues here on the Saturday of what's been an extraordinary week, as we have Singapore against South Africa, and it's the women's 27s. And already we're getting the cheers from the Singapore box right next to our commentary position. Delighted with the defensive effort that's going in, as South Africa look to start to try and find some width on the outside. Delighted to say that Kate Davis-Baven is currently with us. How are you, Kate?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you, Nick. Excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, pleasure.
Yeah, looking forward to watching some good touch football this weekend for the finals.
Absolutely. Well, it's my pleasure to be here as well. Jumping on, as it's the Singaporeans who are jumping on here and looking to try and create a little bit of room over on that right, trying to suck in those defenders, and they managed to do so. They didn't have an awful lot of room to work in, and not enough touches left on that set.
Yeah, no, good defensive effort there from South Africa, keeping Singapore in their own half and giving them an opportunity here to drive out and get a bit of a good roll on here.
South Africa coming forwards with Amy Dixon, looking to just feel that ball back inside, and Monalisa Tiatia comes forwards. Now they're going to just try and tease out this Singapore defence from the line, try and set things up, try and look for that middle dump, and just not quite able to let the ball go to hand. We'll try and bring you up to date with how these two teams got here in due course.
Yeah, no, Singapore looking to have a bit of an answer to that attack here. And yeah, both really strong teams here, definitely, aren't they, Nick?
Yeah, they're certainly just cancelling each other out. A lot of midfield play. The defence is largely winning out so far in this one, as Linda Wilson it is. A lot of lateral movement so far from the touch box. Not as much go forward as perhaps they need to get those last couple of attacking touches on the line. Just a man on defence at the minute, which is proving sufficient.
Yeah, Singapore doing really well there, and a bit of a high piston press defence there. Really sucking out the momentum for South Africa, getting up to that 7, that danger zone there.
Looking to try and get some of the fresh legs on. They've got themselves up over the halfway line now, and a chance for them to make some key meters. As Joy Min Tok is the one who takes that last dump, and now they might have a chance to get a strike on the attack here as fifth is signalled. They're through the gap, looking for the support to try and get that down, but the touch was in. Well, that's the best we've seen of Singapore so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Showing they're looking quite dangerous on the ball there. Lovely pick up and go, but the support that last bit of play just wasn't quite there to execute it, to convert that to a score on the door.
Journey of Singaporeans so far, as we just see South Africa coming forwards on the ball and sensing a real chance to strike here. That wasn't the greatest pass. They lost out to Scotland early doors at the start of the week, 6 tries to 8. They had a 3-3 draw with France. Singapore beat the USA 9-2. They beat Spain 7-0. Went down 12-0 to Australia. No shame in that. And then a win against Hong Kong, China 9-0. Losing out to England 3-6. So a tight hold affair, that one. And then beating Switzerland 9-4 yesterday. So that brings them
Sorry about that.
this stage of the competition this morning.
Sorry about that.
Looking to finish off the round robin. Such is the case with so many teams in this division.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, in the mixed open division as well, sort of having those knockout games almost before getting to quarterfinals, it's been intense.
It has, but we are going to get the first touchdown, are we? Try awarded. South Africa get the first score on the board.
Yeah, lovely here. Just a bit of a fire up on the outsides there, and really well finished. That simple 2-on-1 there on the end, but lovely vision there from the middles, and really well finished there by Singh, number 7 there on the wing.
Pump of the ball to Singapore. Try and make it happen. Look to try and sell the dummy through Jarnell Charlie. Just pulling out the defence again. Looking to try and get that sweep around. Oh, is the sweeper going to be fed? Yes, and is it going to be enough to get the ball down? The referee certainly thinks so. And Singapore strike back with the next set. Exactly what they wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. What a response there. Like you say, the sweeper coming around really lovely executed there, and then it's just a foot race to the outsides, causing that link to bite in as well, so the option is there on the outside.
Jasveen Sidhu getting the score. Karen Matthews, the coach in the box. And Karen from her time in South London. Enjoying a chance to come over and get into the coach's role with Singapore. Little ball back in field.
And South Africa looking to set up again, almost giving Singapore a taste of their own medicine with a sweep round there. And just bringing it back. And unfortunately, it is a turnover there for them. Sixes are up. Getting a little bit caught there, getting to their box, unfortunately.
Yeah, it just seemed that the players that were coming off just took a moment to actually exit the last few metres of the field, and it just slowed down those players coming on. Ball on the floor for a little too long, and disjointedness just undoing Singapore there a little.
Yeah, you know, it may seem like a really small thing, you know, for those that haven't watched or played touch before, but it can really make a difference to a team's momentum coming on. But they've been gifted the ball back by South Africa.
Talking rugby union about ruck speed, don't they? And ultimately, in the game of touch, it really matters. You could probably drill right into the detail of that ball on the floor time as to the efficiency of a team in its attack and its transition. Lovely pump on the dummy there. That was absolutely superb. Jesslyn Lim. One all here on pitch 2. Had the chance a few minutes ago just to take in the match on pitch 1, where England Men's Open were taking on Australia. Men's Open for England managing to get a few on the board. And of course, the Australians doing what the Australians do. The Emus getting the victory over there. This is Singapore against South Africa. This is 1-1. It's Singapore on the line, looking to strike. Defence easy enough that time from Tiacha.
Lovely dive at the line there, but maybe looking to just condition these South African players just a little bit on the line, bringing them out to set up that strike dump there.
It's another dive. It looks like it's another agreement on the score from the referee. But we are just going to have a little conversation here. They've given a touch. Referee looked happy to give it, but the assistant said he's seen the touch.
Looks like they're bringing it back there. It's unfortunate the ball was thrown back to the middle. Singapore were convinced that that was going to be the score on the door.
Rolled a few of the subs on. They're going to have a few fresh legs now to strike here, and that looks a little more effective. That will be the score. And having gone down here, Singapore get their noses in front for the first time.
Yeah, lovely score there. What a response. Just a step back there on the outside, and then a step back in the middle there. Scoring in between those two mids. It's never really where you want to be scored on in this game, but yeah, lovely score there from Deborah Louis for Singapore.
South Africa coming forwards. Magashule just looking at the option inside, continuing that run, unable to just quite get hold of it. South Africa had a good win against Spain yesterday, 9 tries to 2, a 4-all draw against the USA. As we see Singapore coming forwards, picked up wins against France and Scotland and Switzerland and Hong Kong, China as well themselves. Want to get those transition touches after the drive over the halfway line, which they've managed to do, Singapore here, but they'll try and make something happen here. They're beginning to go backwards. And that is 6.
unfortunate there, just a little bit of hesitation on the line to set something up, and yeah, sick touch and turnover there for South Africa to get some fresh legs on, as we see coming on now.
They are certainly fresh legs. Decent running from Rachel Ann McMahon. Now the pickup. Looking for the big switch, keeps the ball alive into midfield, but nothing McMahon could do about holding on to that one.
Yeah, unfortunate pickup. Unfortunate that. Nice pickup and the right idea going back against the grain, but yeah, that final pass just not quite a hands.
On comes Singapore once more. Managed to get themselves in front, having gone behind. That's it.
That is one thing we were talking about, though. There's been a lot of roll ball infringements happening this tournament. Don't know whether it's just happening more, if the referees are pinging it a little bit more, but not one you usually see.
South Africa. Oh! Didn't quite come off for them that time.
Lovely bit of pace there coming on, though, from South Africa.
Just impressed at some of the freshness in the legs at this part of the week.
Absolutely, that's it. That's it. Maybe it's testament to all these tons of ice that we've been having delivered to Highfields for those ice baths.
Never seen so much ice in my life. It was pushing the high 20s centigrade here, 30 degrees in Nottingham yesterday, so the ice baths were incredibly popular, partly for the S&C, partly just to cool off. It's been a remarkable effort over the course of the week so far, as we're here on the penultimate day of the 2024 Touch World Cup. Big miss pass out to the left. They're looking to try and find options, and Singapore bench are screaming for the defence to get up. Oh, but they've lost the ball straight away, so it's going to be another chance for South Africa to get going.
Yeah, unfortunate there. That was a really good defensive effort from Singapore, but again, just gifting it back.
Magashule off Vandenberg. Two of them just working on the buddy there together, and Magashule with that long reach isn't quite going to get there that time. In terms of no touch, Singapore doing enough.
Yeah, lovely dive at the line there.
Could almost jump the whole 7 meters at full extension. Looks to communicate in, wants to perhaps look at getting Boltman onto it. Boltman then on the slight switch, back in for Magashule, and then the quick release. Can they find their way into the corner? Covering defence, doing just enough.
Yeah, really well read there by Singapore far side wing. You know, we were talking about how technical it can be, that wing position, and knowing when to bite in and when to stay out, and really well read there. You've almost got to be a bit of a, you know, you've got to predict things, and it's not always the easiest.
Tell us about your touch experience, Kate.
See, I was never a wing because I could never predict those things. So I've got a lot of respect for good quality wingers, for sure.
Bit of International Women's Open.
Yeah, International Women's Open. I was privileged enough to be playing in the last World Cup in Malaysia, and yeah, I do not miss that heat for sure. But I was speaking to a couple of the girls earlier, and they were saying, you know, it was almost feeling a little bit like Malaysia, like you were saying, over the last couple of days. You know, it's nice that it cleared up a little bit for them after the rain in the first 2 days of the tournament.
I think it almost caught a few people out. When you know you're going to a particularly hot and humid country, you're almost more prepared than actually when suddenly it got super hot yesterday. And I think, and towards the end of the day before, and I think a few people are sort of just tiptoeing into having to take care of themselves where the sun and the heat were concerned.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now then, this is a good attack from South Africa. They've got absolutely acres, and they've got to finish it in the corner, which they do. That was well worked. Managed to compound the Singapore defence one side, all the space on the left.
Lovely there again, just ending up being a bit of a 2-on-1 there, just holding on to the ball and getting that release at the right moment, and that's the second on the draw for South Africa.
Sing with the score. 2-2 here in this nail-biter on pitch 2. Singapore coming forward once more. They managed to hit back super quickly after the last South Africa score. And hips not square on that particular dump.
Yeah, again, I'm so surprised to be seeing all these hips not square calls. It was a real theme of the day down at Riverside when we were down there, and it seems to have come up here as well. And it may just be that refs are a little bit more hot on it now, but yeah, it wasn't. It's not your average penalty.
There is a real strictness, as you said, though, about those roll balls, particularly perhaps whether the foot, whether the hip is passing over the ball, and influence of some of the more experienced international referees just saying some of them are just not good enough if you've been slightly rocked back in the touch. That's a really strong touch. It needed to be. I say strong in terms of strategy rather than brute strength. South Africa. Zambe Pina back in field, managing to just, but they crossed over the line, I think.
Yeah,
just stepping out.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there. Unfortunate there. They did really well to get that pick up and get through, but you have, you know, it's a fine line. You've got to be running along the back of that, and you're desperately, frantically looking for someone, and the support was there. That is unfortunate.
Where are all my friends all of a sudden? Oh, ball down. 2 minutes remaining of this first half then. South Africa coming forwards into second. And that's a real injection of pace. Need the rest of the team to get there, which they do. Now the chance to feed it back to that left side. Singapore are appealing the touch. Another hat on this week, operating Pride House. First time we've had a Pride House at a Touch World Cup. Pride houses existing in Commonwealth Games, Olympic Games, often as a building or a venue off-site where LGBT athletes, allies, volunteers, officials can attend and be in a safe space. And certainly when 2019 was held in Malaysia, a country where it's illegal to be LGBT, well, really proud to have founded our organisation Pride in Touch, which does work to make the sport, which is already super inclusive, a mixed sport, even more inclusive and welcoming to those that want to perhaps step into team sport, where, as we know, for LGBTQ+ people perhaps struggling with their identity when they're young, team sport can seem like an environment that is not for them. But certainly Touch is proving itself to be a brilliant sport in that area. And having founded Pride in Touch, our inclusive organisation 4 years ago, we're delighted to have been here with Pride House this weekend. Half-time whistle goes. It's the last play. South Africa leading Singapore then by 3 tries to 2. And I'm pleased to say that we can bring you a little flavour of our last Pride in Touch tournament that took place in Glasgow last year.
So we're here at Hillhead Sports Club, the 3rd year of our annual Pride in Touch tournament. We have 16 teams, over 200 players. We've got about a dozen or so referees. We've had also a whole heap of volunteers. It's been brilliant to come to Glasgow after previous versions in